I never thought I would be in a situation where I questioned if a child was really mine. When you fall in love, when you build a relationship, you trust. You trust with your whole heart, your future, your life. That's exactly what I did with Julia. From the moment I met her, she seemed perfect. She had a smile that lit up every room, eyes that made you feel like you were the only person in the world, and a way of speaking that could make even the worst days feel lighter. We dated for almost 3 years, and during that time, I believed she was the woman I would spend the rest of my life with. I was careful, steady, grounded. She was exciting, spontaneous, and full of energy. People said we balanced each other out, and I believed them. We traveled, we laughed, we shared secrets late into the night. Everything seemed right, or maybe I just wanted it to seem right. Looking back now, I wonder if I ignored the small warning signs, the little things that didn't add up, the late nights, the unexplained messages, the guarded phone. But love blinds you, and I was deeply in love. Then came the night that changed everything. Julia sat me down, her hands trembling, her eyes wide, and told me she was pregnant. My heart stopped. I didn't see it coming. I wasn't prepared to hear those words. At first, I didn't know what to say. But then the reality of it hit me. I was going to be a father. My chest swelled with a mix of fear and pride. This was big, huge, life-changing, and then she said something that stuck with me. She looked at me straight in the eyes and whispered, "It's yours." At the time, I didn't think much of it. Of course, it was mine. Why would she even have to say that? But as time went on, those words would echo in my head like a warning. I decided to step up. I was ready to take responsibility, to give this child a good life, to be the kind of father every kid deserves. I supported her through the pregnancy. I went with her to doctor's appointments. I rubbed her back when she was tired, and I worked extra hours to save money. I was proud, and even though we weren't married, I thought this baby would be the thing that solidified our future together. When the baby was born, I cried. I'll admit it, I broke down. Holding that tiny life in my arms, looking into those innocent eyes, I thought everything was perfect. But then, slowly, a doubt crept into my mind. At first, I ignored it. But the more I looked at the baby, the harder it became to silence that voice. He didn't look like me. His hair color, his features, even his skin tone, something felt off. Friends and family reassured me. Babies change, they said. Give it time. And I wanted to believe them, so I forced myself to push those thoughts aside, but Julia's behavior made it worse. She grew defensive whenever I brought up the baby's appearance. She snapped at me when I joked about it, and she avoided conversations about family resemblance altogether. The more she avoided it, the more the seed of doubt grew in my heart. One night, after a fight, she accused me of not trusting her, of trying to ruin what we had. She made me feel guilty for even questioning her. Still, the thought never left me. It followed me like a shadow. And eventually, I couldn't take it anymore. I needed to know the truth, even if it destroyed me. I decided to get a DNA test. Quietly, without telling her, I collected what I needed and sent it off. The wait felt like years. Every day was torture, pretending everything was fine while inside I was falling apart. When the results finally came, I sat alone at the table with the envelope in my hands. My palms were sweaty, my heart raced, and my stomach churned. Part of me didn't want to open it. Part of me wanted to stay in the lie, to keep pretending, to keep my little family together. But the other part, the stronger part, needed the truth. I tore it open, unfolded the paper, and read the words that shattered everything. The child was not mine. I stared at the paper, reading the same sentence over and over as if the words would magically change. But they didn't. It was there, in black and white. My world collapsed in that moment. Everything I had believed, everything I had worked for, every sacrifice I had made, it was all built on a lie. I confronted Julia that night. I remember holding the paper in my hand, my voice trembling as I asked her to explain. At first, she tried to deny it. She screamed, she cried, she called me cruel. But when I pressed harder, when I laid the results in front of her, she broke down. Through tears, she admitted it. The baby belonged to another man. She had been seeing someone else behind my back. I can't describe the rage I felt. It wasn't just anger, it was betrayal, humiliation, devastation all rolled into one. I had been there for her through everything. I had loved her unconditionally, supported her, trusted her, and she had used me as a safety net while carrying another man's child. Everyone around us was shocked. My friends, my family, even her family couldn't believe it. I had been the one taking care of her, providing for her, preparing for fatherhood, while the real father was nowhere to be found. And Julia, she had the audacity to tell me she wanted to make it work, that I could still raise the baby as my own, that biology didn't matter, but it did matter. It mattered because it wasn't just about DNA, it was about trust, about respect, about honesty, and she had destroyed all of that. I wasn't going to live a life built on lies. I told her it was over. I walked away from her, from the relationship, from the chaos she created. The days after were some of the hardest of my life. I felt empty, broken, lost. I questioned everything, my judgment, my worth, my future. But slowly, painfully, I began to heal. I realized that her betrayal said nothing about my value as a man. It spoke only of her selfishness, her inability to be honest, her weakness. In time, I found strength in the truth. It hurt, but it freed me. It freed me from a relationship that was never real. It freed me from a life of raising another man's child under a lie. And it reminded me that sometimes the hardest truths are the ones that save us. I share this story not because I enjoy reliving it, but because maybe someone else out there is going through the same thing. Maybe someone is ignoring their gut, silencing their doubts, believing in someone who doesn't deserve their trust. To them, I say this: listen to your instincts. Don't be afraid of the truth, no matter how painful it is. The truth will set you free, even if it breaks you first. Julia thought she could manipulate me forever. She thought she could tell me the baby was mine and that I would never question it. But the DNA test didn't just prove her wrong, it exposed everything. It showed the world who she really was. And though it hurt more than anything I've ever experienced, it also gave me the chance to start over, to rebuild, to eventually find someone who would truly love me. She claimed the baby was mine, but the DNA results shocked everyone. And in the end, the truth, as painful as it was, saved me from a lifetime of lies.